Hey guys, what's up? So today we're doing makeup. We're also going to do a little bit of a pregnancy update because, well, right now I'm 28 weeks, so I just started third trimester, but once you guys see this video, it'll be around 29 weeks actually. But I went to the doctor yesterday and we will get into that as we go. But I did make a video a little bit ago talking about some loves and hates. And one of the things that I loved because of the great sun protection and the niacinamide, and of course the ceramides in it, in the CeraVe hydrating mineral sunscreen, the broad spectrum. Sorry, I do have a slight stutter. The broad spectrum SPF 30. And this is the untinted version. That's on me. That is my fault. I went and I bought the tinted version. And it is a little bit smaller. I'm quite sad about it because I tried it out yesterday for my doctor's appointment and I absolutely love it. Also in that video was the Covergirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Foundation. And I told you all that I did not like it. It was slowly becoming a hate product for me, solely because it says that it does go on sheer, which is fine, but it also says that it can build coverage. I do not feel like it builds coverage. Even for me, still right now, I don't feel like it builds coverage. So that still makes me not want to buy this product ever again, probably. But I did notice that when it said sheer coverage and slightly blurs, that it does do that. But I've got a couple of little pimples that are coming up. Gotta love pregnancy hormones. I did not like it on those. I didn't think it blurred enough. It didn't even blur out the color red while they were still quite angry on my skin. I did find that with the CeraVe tinted sunscreen, that this foundation finally started to work a little bit better for me. So let's get in. I will show you how I apply all of that. I did my morning routine. I washed my face. I put on my moisturizer. I put my toner on first and then I put my moisturizer on. And I put on also in that video, the Loves video, the Jergens Face Tinting Moisturizer, the Gradual Tan Moisturizer for the face. I know I said it has an SPF of 20. It's been over 2 hours since I put that on. I also don't use that as my sole SPF on my face because I feel like a 20 is just not enough. Even though it's an overcast kind of day today, there is still blue in the sky. Even on an overcast day, of course, you can still get sunburn and you can still get sun damage. So, since it's been over the recommended time and the low SPF, we're going to put this one on so I can show you this in comparison with this. Also, something that helps the coverage, a little bit of a comparison with this as well. So we're going to use all three to get enough of a coverage that I feel like I'm going to like and wear, because I think me and my husband are going to go out and do a couple little errands today. We've got some medication to like look into and pick up and all that kind of fun adulting things, of course. But of course, we shake the SPF. Let's get this rubbed into the skin, and I want to show you what it does, because at first it looks like it doesn't want to rub into the skin or be the right shade for me, but I promise you it does. Also, I know my house is a little messy. I am so sorry. We do live in on-base housing and we're preparing for a baby, and my husband just moved all of his game stuff upstairs. So yeah, look, see that acne scar? It gets so much coverage with this sunscreen on it and I absolutely love it. But you can already see it's blending into my skin already. We go up under the eyes, really, really good. Can't forget that, especially having dark circles under my eyes. It's annoying. We go over the eyelids. I do have contacts in, so I have to be a little bit more careful while putting things on my eyelids. I have a mirror just under the camera right here, so if I'm looking away, that's what I'm looking at, because I want to make sure I get an even and good application of sunscreen. All right, can you see how it gave me a little coverage? The pimple, that one, this acne scar right here, just kind of covered up certain spots, which we love. It's great. So to be able to use this, I need to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. And I tried this a little bit ago. we're going to use the e.l.f. Buffing Foundation Brush. Yes, this brush is clean. My makeup just stains it, okay? All of my brushes right now are clean. And I've learned that this provides a little bit of coverage also with the glowing effect. And that sound is absolutely horrible. But yeah. This is just my shade for right now. So I know that summertime I will not be able to use this. So now I'm gonna take this, I'm going to buff it into the skin. I've got a mirror just under this camera here, so I hope I'm looking in the general direction of you guys and the camera, of course. I am putting it up under my eye because it is a glowy product. I'm hoping it gives a little bit of brightness to my under eye area because my under eyes are super dark. Lack of sleep, again, you gotta love pregnancy, yay! But while being pregnant may not be fun, it is definitely worth it in terms of us getting our little girl. And I am so excited. I wanted a little girl so bad, and we're getting her. I'm in love with the idea of having a daughter. Honestly, I could go out like this with a little bit of concealer on and I wouldn't have any qualms, but I feel like it might be a little dark for me right now where it's been a little bit of time since I've put on my tanning lotion. Hasn't had the time to kick in yet. At least on my face, it feels that way. I know that in comparison to the rest of my body, it's pretty good, you know, in real life versus on camera. But yeah. All right, we're gonna put some on the hand. This is a very liquidy foundation, and I think that's some of the issue with why I'm not loving it right now. But you would think a liquidy foundation during summertime would be phenomenal. And here I am not loving it. Also, the smell of it, it's not, it doesn't do it for me, but it doesn't last long enough on the skin to bother me too much. Now you can see I did not take a super amount of it, but it does help tone down the glow. Like with the pigment, not the pigment, but the strong kind of glimmer glow in the makeup look. I'm trying to cover up. Get as much coverage built onto these pimples as I can also. Dipping back in. All right, guys, that has got our foundation on, and as you can see, it's worked so much better for me doing it this way, adding those things that kind of help build coverage up, especially where I need it in these spots right here, here, and here. Much better than it used to be. It just is. Okay, so I like to store it upside down also because this foundation wants to get in the lid a little bit, and I don't like when things are messy. Next thing is the concealer. I'm using my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Looking in my mirror to place it right here. I have very dry under eyes. That's why I have to have a hydrating concealer. And I know I said that in the past this is not my favorite, but it is what I have. And it is what I'm going to use. Yes, I put a lot on because, like I said, I get a little dark with the Halo Glow tint. That is user error. It works perfectly if I have my tan going on, but when it doesn't, when I don't have the tan going on, it can darken up my face a little bit. And because of that, I have another product, the L'Oreal Paris True Match Lumi Glotion. I have it in shade light instead of medium. Okay, while we're working this in, why don't we go ahead and do a little bit of the pregnancy talk and chat. A little update about that. So my doctor's appointment yesterday, it went great. I had been taking iron supplements that have been making me extremely sick to the point where I had lost some of the weight that I had gained during pregnancy, and that's never a good sign because you don't want to take anything away from baby. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually take this Physicians Formula blush, the Butter Believe It blush. I know what you're saying, that's really light for your skin tone. Yes, it is. But you know the viral trend of using a blush lavender, very light setting powder? Well, I'm gonna do that as an under eye setting powder. I'm gonna do that with this lighter shade right here. I'm getting this light pink at the top here. I have needed a brighter under eye, a brightening something for my under eyes for a long time now. I still don't have one. But then I saw somebody use a blush that was too light for them. But back to the pregnancy talk again. Back to it. Yes, I'm scatterbrained and I know it and I'm sorry. But it's just how I am, pregnancy brain and all. For actual blush, the Covergirl Trublend and So Flushed, it is scary pigmented, but I want to use it. I'm using the same brush as before. It's already got blush on it. But anyway, back to the pregnancy part. She's pigmented, guys. They told me once they analyzed my blood work that I most likely wouldn't have to take the iron pill anymore. That I most likely, if I did need iron, I could do infusions, which would suck. But if I did not feel sick all the time, I was going to take it. And my husband was even like, yeah, she'll take it over being sick all the time, because it was to the point where I was like dead to the world, honestly. And this had been weeks of me feeling like this, that I would have to just kind of fake it till I made it, basically, to a point in the day where I wasn't so sick. I am holding the brush at the end like this because it is lighter touch, and this blush is super pigmented. And it's a little patchy right here. It never wants to stick right here in this section. So I usually have to like tap it on in specific. Then I can go in and blend the edges again. I'm not going over the nose today. I am staying solely on the cheeks right here. What she also had said, my doctor, one of my doctors, I'm supposed to meet every single doctor there because I will not know who is there for when I go to have birth. Like, I don't know when Poppy, that's my daughter's name, is Poppy, when she's going to make her grand entrance to the world. So, unless of course something gets scheduled. But as of right now, everything looks good to where it's not going to be scheduled. That looks really bright on camera. It looks really bright in person. But I promise once bronzer and setting powder are applied the rest of the way, it will look great. Wow, that tinted that brush a lot. This is why this brush is stained, because that powder is pigmented. But everything looks good with baby so far. Thank God. That's all we pray for. I just grabbed the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. I told you guys I was going to set under my eyes again. The bright pink was just as hopefully an eye brightener, and it looks like it did the trick, actually. I know it's not super bright, super crazy, but for me personally, this looks great. So it also helps flatten out that right here. You can see the difference, the flattening purpose of this, of why I do it on a sponge tip. The Real Techniques sponge tip, by the way, there's a hair on my beauty blender. Oh, it's my eyelash hair. Thank God it's mine and not somebody else's. But yeah, I'm just gonna do it this. But everything else, measurement-wise, she was perfect. Heart rate was perfect, 141. My little girl is growing beautifully, for what we can tell at least. And I'm doing great, except for the random bouts of nausea all the time. So as the extra iron works its way out of my system, I'm hoping that I feel a lot less sick all the time, and that may help. Who knows, it may not help, but I'm hoping it does help. And my experience yesterday at the doctor's office was much better than I had previous times, because I did have to get blood work done as well. That's how they were able to test my iron levels and determine that I was okay enough to stop taking the iron supplements. So thank God for that, because I told my husband, that's his name, that I don't think I could continue on taking those supplements. Even if I really needed them, I would have had to switch over to a transfusion. And he was all for it. He was behind me. He goes, yes, I do not agree with you feeling sick all the time to the point where I was skipping meals, all of that stuff. And I will get into the importance of me not skipping meals, not just because I'm pregnant, but because I was also testing blood sugar all the time, like 4 times a day, 4 to 5 times a day. It was getting really bad because I wasn't able to eat. So I had to like just check my sugar at the random times, and I had to put in the notes and say I was not able to eat. I was too sick. I was too nauseous that day, whatever to eat, which I know isn't good for my baby's health because she needs me to eat because I am her nutrient source right now. And it's not fair to her if I'm not able to eat. It's not fair to myself if I'm not able to eat. And so this was the main thing causing all these issues once the iron was added into my body, or I added into my supplement routine. Okay, that's got all the powder done. I did end up just going ahead and setting my full face with the Beauty Blender. But like I said back with the pregnancy chat, I really was struggling with the morning sickness, which this has not been an easy pregnancy anyway. This has been a more difficult one. So I'm not the kind of one that gets to glow during pregnancy. That's why we add the glow with makeup. But no, so that's another thing that I felt really bad about for the first little while. I thought that I was the only person that did not love pregnancy, that did not feel good with pregnancy. This is the e.l.f. Wow Brow in deep brown. I just like to run it through my brows just a tiny bit. If I'm going somewhere crazy special or like a specific date night, I do more to my brows. But today we are not doing anything super crazy, anything like that. It just gives a nice shape and fluff to the brows. But like I was saying with pregnancy and everything like that, it's just not been everything I've wanted. It's not been everything I hoped and dreamed for, and that's okay. You have to realize that it is okay to not love being pregnant, but love your child in the outcome. You know, love that baby, love what you're getting out of pregnancy, but to not love the pregnancy process. And if you do love the pregnancy process, amazing. I'm so glad for you. That's awesome. Hold on to that, because those of us who don't love the process, it's more of a struggle for us, and it's not as enjoyable as what we hope and what we want and what we think it should be. So it took me a really long time to learn that, and I still struggle with it, but my husband reminds me that I'm trying my best. I'm doing things when I can, how I can, and he is always a great support to me, and I will cherish him always because of how good and how supportive he is to me and for me. So of course, you gotta love those people who are helping you as well. Okay, bronzer, Physicians Formula. This is the Matte Monoi bronzer, and I have not cleaned the hard pan off of this yet. Please forgive me. I know, I'm so sorry. But I will show you the hard pan on this, and I bought it literally in April. No. Yes, I bought it in April. It is July now. I have used it almost every day. I need to scrape the hard pan off. That is my fault, my error, everything. But I absolutely love it. Yes, this brush is also clean. It's just also stained because of this product and a couple of other ones. My other bronzer love right now is the Lottie London. It's a really cheap brand. It's the Lottie London Sun Catcher bronzer. It's a lot deeper. I can't use it as much right now as I would like because, like I said, up in Alaska, I'm not tanning the same way I usually do down south, and it sucks. This is the e.l.f. brush, by the way. A lot of my brushes are e.l.f. because they are really, really soft, or I got them in gift sets, and I tried them and I liked them. This is ironically the Flawless Face Brush. I like this one for my bronzer though because it is big, it's fluffy, covers lots of area. I can also get it just on the edges of the brush and do the sides of my nose like that and the underneath, and I think it sculpts my nose just enough to where it looks great. Love the brush. This one was gifted to me 3 years ago. Yes, 3 years ago. My first year of college. Got it in the Christmas section gift. A Christmas gift. So I think it was a Christmas set. I'm gonna do my Cinnamon Swirl Lottie London highlighter. And I'm gonna do that right now. And then I will do setting spray, and then I will do mascara after, because I like to set everything onto my face and then do mascara, even the brows, and then do the mascara afterwards, just because I feel like it works a little bit better. Oh, that was just what I wanted. That was what I wanted right there. I don't think I want to put it on my cheeks today as much. I might just, here the airplane's coming, might just put it right here on the forehead to create a little glow, blending everything in glow wise to the bronzer. Glow, glow, glow. That's beautiful. I'm sorry, but that's gorgeous, and no one can tell me any different. And I'm focusing a little bit on the bridge of my nose, not too much, nothing crazy. It just looks great. I'm gonna swirl a little bit of this blush. Now this is a highlight brush by e.l.f. Same package, again, the Christmas. I'm gonna say it was a Christmas holiday set package. I don't know, but it was these pink metal handles with white brushes. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Super soft, lasted me for years. They are prone to staining. A lot of the e.l.f. brushes that I've tried are prone to staining. So that's just something to be wary of. And then I tried to keep the highlighter on my lip underneath the pimple. You know, people in real life are going to see texture. They're going to see pimples. Ow, my finger, I pinched it. They're going to see pimples and they're going to see texture in real life. And you know what? You're not always going to be able to hide it. My pimple and textures are coming from a space of, I'm pregnant. I'm excited to have a baby. I'm blessed to be able to have a baby. And I know I'm blessed to be able to have a baby. So you know what? Why not just go ahead and embrace having a baby and all the things that come with it, which is going to be acne. All right, next up is the e.l.f. All-Nighter Spray. Green bottle, beautiful fine mist. Sometimes you got to clean the mister off a little bit. I'm going to right now because I just feel like it's a little sticky and I don't like textures like that. But yeah, and I'm going to spray my face. Just set it all down. Fan that dry. I'm going to use my little handheld mirror here and fan that dry. Woo, that is beautiful, and the smell of it is not that bad either. So now we have, of course, our Lash Princess, the Lash Curl and Volume Mascara. It is beautiful. It's a big old wand, and it is a messy wand, and the formula is a little on the wetter side. This is my tube that I've had for, well, I think since April also. I went on a little shopping spree, a little bit of one in April. I think I've had it since April as well, and I love it. But to me, the formula is still a little bit wet, so if you don't like wetter formulas, if your eyelash or your eyelashes, you know, fall or whatever, might not be for you. But I love the brush, I love the curling, I love the volume, I love the color. It's a black. But I also love that once you let it dry on your eyelid, if it is a little messy because the brush is big, it will come right off with a Q-tip, maybe even a little bit of water. I didn't even have to use water yesterday for it. So I'm gonna get this and we're gonna come right back. All right, that is 2 coats of, well, 2-ish coats of mascara on both eyes. And what I do usually with the 2 coats is the first one, especially with this particular formula, I will get it on really good and heavy, let it dry down for a minute, and not worry so much about the tips of the eyelashes. I worry solely on the base of the eyelashes. And then with whatever is left on the wand after doing the top of one eye, I will go and take that to the bottom of the eye, and I will just do those lower lash line. Both eyes, same exact way. And then I go in with a second dip, but I scrape some of the product off, and I really worry about starting at the base and curling the lashes up, using that curl part of this wand and really curling them up. And then I will maybe press a little harder and do a little wiggle on the ends of my eyelashes. And the reason I didn't show it on camera today was solely because I have to get up close and personal with my lashes. Even with my contacts, I do not see very well, and I have to be able to see the lashes when I do this, because if I don't, I have poked myself in the eye before, quite severely actually, and it does not feel good, and I don't want to experience that feeling again as you could possibly imagine. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it word wise. So yeah, there's that. And the last thing to do is lips. All right, I decided to do the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plumper everywhere on YouTube, everywhere on TikTok, you know. This shade is actually in Tulip though. I wanted to not do the white peach. I have very two-toned lips, as you can see. And while I think it's pretty, I don't love it. For me, it's not my favorite thing in the world. I'm gonna scoot a little closer here so I can use this mirror that's right under the camera. And you guys will be able to see a little bit better too. You just press it up. And I have only used this twice before. It has a little bit of a cooling effect. It is beautiful. I think this color is beautiful on the lips. You see that? Oh, so pretty. Very much more pink. Comes out a lot pinker than I think it looks, especially in person. It comes out a lot pinker than it looks in the tube. But again, I'm not gonna hate on that. Do my Cupid's bow. Take it down, because I love my Cupid's bow. It's a very prominent one. I'm gonna do one more click, a couple more clicks, get it out a little bit more. The packaging. And while this is cool packaging, I think it can be a little bit messy if, you know, it spills over the edges or whatnot, if you don't love a messy product and you don't want to spend the money on this and you don't, you know, care about the plumping or whatever and all the colors, I wouldn't get it. It's not like a necessity. It's not a need. This hasn't changed my lip product game, really, I would say, at all. It's something cool to have. It's something cool to use, fun to click, but you can't get it to go back down if you click too many times. Again, it can be a little bit of a messier product if it goes over the edges or whatever, and if you don't like that, it's not a necessity. Again, they had some good shades. I will say they had some good shades, but they also had shades that I would have to use with a lip liner a lot of times, didn't care for on my skin tone and whatever. There are other ones, the non-lip plumpers, I would say maybe go check those out if you don't care about the plumping and the glossiness of it. Maybe go check those out. They had a little bit more deeper, darker shades if you care about that. I know I do because I am brown skin tone wise, and I do have that natural sort of lining on my lips. But while these are shiny and glossy and beautiful, I just find that I don't get to line my lips with it like I want to as easily. On the average day where I'm not talking and doing this routine takes about 15 minutes. So if you only have about 15 minutes to get out the door, you don't take the time to set your whole face with a beauty sponge. If you don't care enough about using the filter underneath and buffing that in, you know, if you have a good priming sunscreen or whatever and then a good foundation and you're ready to go, a foundation that you don't have to make work, of course it's going to be a lot quicker and a lot easier. This was just a good way, especially as I did the makeup yesterday, it was a great way for me to just use some products, get better use out of ones I did not love, try out a new sunscreen, and then put this lip product by Tarte to the test for myself, see how more so long wearing it was on me. And if I wasn't eating or drinking or something like that, it lasted quite a good time. If you're eating and drinking, it's not gonna as much. All right, guys, that is everything ready for the day, and that is me ready to go out and have a good little evening with my husband, go to the grocery store, get a few things we need, want, whatever. And a good way for me to feel a little bit better about myself today, a little bit better about my acne spots and everything going on. And I hope you enjoyed maybe hearing about the sunscreen, maybe hearing about how I finally got a foundation that I didn't love to work for me a little bit better. Like I said, I will be trying the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Glotion here pretty soon in shade light, because in the wintertime, like I said, I'm a little bit lighter. So I'll try that out at some point also. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you want to recommend something to me, leave a comment. Or even if you have a little bit of things to tell me about how your pregnancy went, how you dealt with nausea and stuff like that so late term, that would be awesome too. So I hope you have a good day wherever you're at again. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.